All right, you guys, we are live. We are live. I had a little technical issues, but that's okay because we're getting it done. Everything happens in divine order and divine timing. Today we have the beautiful herbalist Keneisha Webb, who has an extensive amount of research on herbs, on holistic healing from a well-rounded, full perspective from different aspects. And I believe you also are into numerology when I did a little research on you, which I find amazing because I'm a numerologist. So I'm gonna
You're also a
share this link.
neurologist.
Yes, yes. And I'm going to share this in a couple of
Beautiful. Yes.
groups. Feel free to share it, you guys, to comment, ask any
Yes.
questions. So right before we get started, I'm going to share this on my page, on the different groups that I'm in, so people can tune in.
Yes.
Yes. I'm going to put we are live now. Can I ask, Keneisha, do you prefer to be called Keneisha, or do you have a specific business name that you use?
I use Keneisha. Keneisha is good.
Okay, cool.
Keneisha
And
is
I
good.
noticed you
Yes.
have an accent. Are you from somewhere?
I'm from Jamaica.
All right, all right. Any part of Jamaica in particular?
I'm from Ocho Rios. That's at the northern side, St. Anne.
Oh,
Hmm.
okay. Nice, nice. I've only been to Jamaica one time. I
Where
went
did
to
you go?
Ocho Rios. Ocho
Okay,
Rios.
that's my place. That's my
Okay,
place.
that's
Yes.
cool. I'm very
Hmm.
honored to sit with you today because I see you a lot of great posts, a lot of in-depth posts and research, and people I think don't always realize how much goes into the research and the herbs. You have a lot of people who are getting into herbology, but they'll do things like they'll
Hmm.
combine just random herbs together, or herbs don't go together. You know, it's a whole lot more of the alchemy to it. So I'm very honored to talk to you
Yes.
because you don't always get to see females at the forefront. You see Queen Afua, but
Yes.
you don't see a lot of other females at
Hmm.
the forefront. You kind of see the males kind of dominate this. So it's an honor to see
Oh,
another
yeah.
woman of color doing this. Yes.
Thank
So
you. Thank you very much.
no
Hmm.
problem. But for the people who don't know you, what type of work do you do?
Okay, so I'm a holistic practitioner.
Mhm.
So that's a broad topic. So under that, okay, I am also a numerologist. I'm
Yes.
also an iridologist. Yes.
Mm. And what is
Uh-huh.
iridology for people who may not know what that is?
Okay, so iridology is a study of the iris. So the iris is a dark area of the eye. So I look
Mhm.
within the eye for imbalances, for any imbalances that
Mm.
is going on inside. Yes.
Yes. I think I
Mhm.
think Dr. Africa's wife does something similar with holistic healing. There's something
La,
that she does where she looks into something. I'm sorry.
Lalia, Lalila,
No.
Africa, Africa.
Oh, yes,
No?
Layla Africa, his wife. I
Lila,
think he
yeah, yeah,
does
yeah.
something similar to iridology.
Oh, okay. I've never heard of her. I know of him, but I've never
Oh,
heard of
she's
the wife.
Dr. Melanie. Because
Okay.
he's
I
more at
need
the
to check her
forefront.
out. Yes.
Ah.
There you go again. Yeah.
So can
Hmm.
I ask this? What brought you into herbal medicine?
Okay. So born and raised in Jamaica, St. Anne, we grew up using like what we call herbs bush. So in Jamaica, we might refer to like even a herbal doctor as a bush doctor, even as a herb as bush. Yeah. So growing up, all we had was bush tea. And
Ah.
I think I was like 14. I was
Uh-huh.
14 when I met my grandmother for the first time. She came from England to visit Jamaica, and
Uh-huh.
she brought a herbal book and gave it to me. So
Hmm.
at 14, I started to read because I like to read. So I started to read it, and I really loved it. I said, you know what, this is what I would want to do. So at
Hmm.
14, I know, yeah, I got really into wanting to become a herbalist.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now,
Mhm.
specifically, just what kind, just to give the people just an idea, what kind of different ailments do you help people with, or have you helped people with in the past?
I all of most of them,
Like diabetes,
most of them. Your
hypertension.
diabetes, AIDS, herpes, most of the
Mm,
sexually transmitted diseases,
wow.
cancers. Um, most of them, most of
That's
them.
beautiful. Y'all better hit her up, you guys. Y'all better hit her up to get
Thank you.
consultations and different things like that. Hit the sister up, support the holistic healers that are in our community and
Yeah.
that, serve the people, because we need this, especially now with the whole situation going on. We can't quite say what it is because we could get flagged on YouTube. But with the whole
Mhm. Mhm.
situation going on, it's attacking people's lungs, all kinds of parts of their bodies, and with the, at least from the States, the toxic food we have over here, we try the best we
Mhm.
can, but it's so much chemicals and things like that.
Yes.
Um, how long have you been a holistic practitioner? I think you kind of touched on that a little bit, right?
Oh no, you asked me how long I got into herbs, but I've been
Okay.
a certified practitioner for 9 years,
Mm.
and but before I I I think it was like 12 years ago, I really got into it because I used to operate a vegan vegetarian restaurant, and
Mm.
I was selling herbs. I was helping people, but I was not certified. So
Aha.
like 9 years ago, I went and I got certified. Yes.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of
Hmm.
Jamal Mancour, the herbalist Jamal Mancour?
No,
He's in
Jamal.
Jamal, yeah, he's in the Bahamas.
I am not sure.
That's
Probably
okay.
the name. Yeah.
That's okay.
Hmm.
I don't think as many people in the States know about him, but I know that I did like meet him and his wife in the Bahamas, and they do like herbal healing as well, and they do alkaline cooking. I know his wife is a
And
phenomenal.
yeah, I think so. I
Yeah.
think so. I think I in the Bahamas. Yeah, I
Uh-huh.
think he had some connection with
Yes.
yes. Yes, I
Maybe
know who he is. I think
maybe
I
there's
know
a way
him
y'all
by
could
another
combine.
name. Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe y'all can combine business or something, you know what I mean? And help like the different islands. I don't know. I'm just thinking
definitely.
out loud.
Yeah,
But
of
yeah, they're
course.
pretty cool. Yeah.
Yes.
So
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
wanted to ask also, how has natural and herbal medicine helped you personally
Me personally. Oh
in your own
wow.
journey? Not to go in depth in your personal,
In my
but
own
just
journey.
yeah, in your own journey.
Of course. Listen. To be honest, I've never really went to the doctor and get diagnosed with something. It's not
Mm-hmm.
like I've been to the doctor and the doctor say, yes, you have this. I have had lumps in a breast. Went and
Uh-huh.
did an ultrasound and, they confirmed that there are lumps in there. I did not go any further.
Right, right,
But
right.
what I did not do any other testing. But what I did, I started to use the herbs on myself and they went away.
Mm.
Yeah, they
Okay.
went away. And personally, like I use the herbs every day. So,
Mm-hmm.
but I find that it keeps me healthy. Yeah.
Mm.
I do not suffer from a lot of things. No. And I
Mm-hmm.
know it's because of the herbs and the
Mm-hmm.
diet.
I know that's right.
Yeah.
Now, question: have you
Mhm.
studied with any herbalists, and or do you have any mentor herbalists that you've worked with?
Well, apart from the school, I had the opportunity to meet Dr. Sebi. So
Ah,
I met Dr. Sebi. I met him in 2015, and I was already a practitioner, but what he did, we talked,
uh-huh.
and yeah, I showed him some of my formulas. We went through my formulas. He
Yeah.
agreed on keeping them. Yeah, he offered a lot of guidance to me.
Now that's beautiful. That's
Yes,
beautiful right there.
that
That's the
that
great
was
Dr.
wonderful.
Sadie.
I know, I know.
Much respect to
It
Dr.
was
Sadie.
wonderful. Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
And
yes,
and
yes,
it's
yes.
funny because I went to his village. I went to Usha.
in
A
Honduras.
few years ago. Yeah, I went there to cleanse and heal because I had been sick. I got sick at 22. I had a few illnesses, and changing my
So
diet
you
and
went there
getting
after he
into
passed?
I scheduled it when he was alive, and he died the year I went there.
Oh,
So I didn't even get to
wow.
meet him, but I met some of his
Yes.
children, and I was like, at
Right.
first I was like, should I still go? Because I didn't get to, I wanted to meet him. But I have friends who knew him,
Mm-hmm.
who I met there, because I went on my own. I got on
Yes.
my own healing journey from just being sick,
Just being
being
exact.
young. Um, and I was able to
Mm-hmm.
heal myself, getting into the herbs, getting into the studies and all
Of
of that. So
course.
that's beautiful, the way that the body has that
Yes.
ability. People don't really
Ability
believe.
to. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like people don't
Mm-mm.
realize the healing power of the herbs. That's why I encourage people to
Exactly.
take the herbs. And sometimes I got to get on myself because I'll be slacking, and I got to be like, you're supposed to get on your herbs. And my body reminds me,
Er,
like, okay, you need some bitters, or you need.
yes. Oh, yeah.
So,
It
yeah, you
definitely will.
already.
You see it pop up sometimes, like, yeah.
Yeah, it
It
happens
shows
with
on
me
the
too
face, yeah.
sometimes.
Time to put it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
my skin is so sensitive, it will break out if I'm not, on it with
Shows
the
you what
herbs.
going on inside.
Yes, yes. And also cleanses,
Mm-hmm.
because especially here, it's it's more tricky in the States to eat alkaline. It's not impossible, but it's more tricky because the way that they do the food here, and then they'll, like, I remember when I was one time at some point I was like heavily into the alkalinity, heavy, heavy, heavy into the alkalinity. And I noticed they had took this
Mm-hmm.
one brand off the shelf. This one brand that was making
Mm-hmm.
alkaline grains, they started taking it off the shelf, and I don't see it anymore. you know so there's a
Mm-hmm.
whole attack here on so many levels. So people
Yep.
like you are great to have in our community, great resources. We need to come to people like you who are doing the work, who are
Thank
encouraging
you.
that
Yes.
and coming back to nature. That's why my channel
Mm-hmm.
is called Return to Pachamama, because Pachamama is like an ancient um it's an ancient indigenous word for mother nature. And so it's all about returning back to
Yes.
mother nature and healing on so many different levels. So
Definitely.
it's beautiful. So I'm just honored
Mm-hmm.
that you're here, sis. you know um
Yeah. Thank you again. I want to just thank you again.
no problem. Have you ever been to the United States? You ever been here to the
Yeah.
United States? You have. Oh, some people never been.
I
So
lived there once.
did you like it?
Yeah. I was there. I actually, as a teenager, I lived there, but I didn't. It's not my place.
I understand you, because you come from some place where
The
you
US
have the
is not.
herbs and you have the food and you
Mhm.
have the fresh air and the heat and the warmth, and to come to the cluttered states.
Can I
I'm
tell
from
you?
here, but
As I reach to America,
uh-huh.
as I get to America, my eyes get red. Every
uh
single time I went to America, I go to America, my eyes get red. Yeah,
Wow.
I do not do well in that. Mm-mm. I
I
don't do
know
well
Dr.
in
Sebi's daughter Sama
that
doesn't like to
environment.
come to America. Sama can I heard Sama
Mm,
cannot stand coming to America.
yeah, it doesn't work well with me.
Right, right. Well, I know that when I left
Yeah,
Usha and I came back, when I left Usha, my skin was so clear and smooth. I never
hmm
realized how much at that time that we really need that sunlight, those herbs, the
exactly. Yes,
healing
and the
foods, the
herbs.
fresh
Yes,
foods.
and the water. Yes.
Yes. Oh, I have a friend. She drank some of the water. She had tumors on her neck. The tumors went away from drinking the
Of
water,
course,
the fresh
of
water.
course,
But you
of
don't see
course.
things like that
The
in the
thermal
States
water.
because you know here you don't see those
Mm-mm.
things like that, that
No,
often,
no,
because they have a
no. That is why I use the like Facebook platforms, and I let them know, come to Jamaica. Even if you can't come to Jamaica, go to Honduras. That water and the herbs,
Mhm.
it is able to remove a lot of things.
Yes,
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 be on Facebook, the thermal water, because
yes.
I am very passionate about people healing. Yes,
Mhm.
yes. So, mhm.
Yeah, a lot of things can be preventable, a lot of things.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
a lot of things. It's for me. It all has to do with diet
Mhm.
and mindset and your
Mhm.
mindset. Mhm.
I have a question. Because you're into
Yeah.
numerology and because you're into those metaphysics, how
Hmm.
does that help you as a practitioner with your work?
A lot,
Mm-hmm.
a lot.
Mm-hmm.
In being into numerology helped me for me, for my clients to gain confidence in me. Because say for
Mm.
instance, like my I have a client who will do they put their date of birth on, I see the date of birth, so instantly I kind of have an idea who I'm dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
You sound like
so
me.
when you
Yes. Go
yeah,
ahead. I'm
so
sorry, sis. Go ahead.
people like to know that they can trust their practitioner, So when I find out like somebody date of birth and I say, okay, so you're likely to so and so, they're like, so how you know? And they gain that.
Yes.
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 Mhm.
See, you
Yeah,
don't have a lot
that's
of
how it
people
has
who
helped
are kind
me.
of afraid of those things, because they're taught that these
I
things
know.
are bad or they're
They're
evil, but
evil.
they
Yeah,
all are things to help navigate and help us, I believe,
exactly.
help us navigate
Of
through this
course.
journey in this realm because this realm
Mm-hmm.
is tough.
Mm-hmm.
And when
Of
you have
course.
things like numerology, like astrology, it's all in how you use these things, you know? It helps steer the
Yes.
way. Like for me, I know
Mm-hmm.
with the numerology,
Yes.
when I see someone's birthday,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it lets me know what health ailment they have. So for
Definitely.
you know what I mean? Or it lets me
Definitely.
know they need to drink
Mm-hmm.
more water, certain things. Like I'm like, oh, your birthday is when?
Yeah.
But I love to be
Yes.
another
So I mean,
numerologist because you don't see a lot of female numerologists. So I'm like,
it,
yes,
no,
yes,
especially not only those females, but even like, our color. You don't have a lot of us.
yes. And
Yeah,
that's why we gotta support one another. We have to support each other, you guys.
definitely. Yes.
Keneisha, when you have the chance, can you give us your cash app just in case if anyone sees and they want to donate to you to help your cause, to help what you're doing? Do you have a cash app?
I have a cash app, but because I'm in Jamaica, it gives a lot of problems. Like,
Got
but
you,
I
got
have Zelle. I have the Zelle account.
you. Okay.
Yeah.
Is
Would
there
that
can
work?
you yeah, that's fine. I'll type it in the
Mm.
chat. I'll match matter of fact, I'll make it a banner. So if anyone wants to donate to help this sister with helping her heal the people, um, feel free to donate to her. Let me see.
Yes.
Zell. What's your Zell?
So the Zelle is the number is 908
Mm-hmm.
346 2690.
2690. Okay, cool. Let me put donate and support.
Thank you.
No problem. Back in the day, the older generation here, they used to support one another. Like you had Aretha Franklin who would bail out activists who were fighting against like white supremacy and oppression. She would use the money from her
Yes.
concerts to bail out the
Wow.
activists. And so we had this collective thing that seems to be getting lost. Where we took care of each other as people of color.
Each
And
other.
you got to take care of herbalists. They shouldn't be dying broke. They shouldn't be dying with no money and things like that. Like we got to take care of one another because we help the community. You know what I mean? And you've
Definitely.
been studying
Yes.
way longer than me, so much respect. Like I love it. Yes,
Thank you.
no
Yes.
problem, no problem.
Mhm.
And the males they got it on lock with each other, but what about the ladies? We gotta
What about
support
the
each other.
females? I know.
Yeah, the healing be coming from
Hmm.
us. We give birth to the males.
Can I tell you?
you know. But I wanted to ask, so let me see. What are some challenges that you have faced as a holistic practitioner?
Oh, you know, my challenge is having people to really know how easy it is to be healthy. And
Mm,
I will forever say it is easy because Once that discipline is cultivated,
Mm-hmm.
once that discipline is cultivated, and you stick to that protocol, those herbs, the diet, you'll be okay. So the
Mm.
challenge for me is having people to, meeting somebody and then you see, okay, okay, this person can get over it. And then at the end, you realize this person is not doing what they're supposed to do. I've had even
Mm.
clients die like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, yeah, you get close to clients and then you see that they're not taking the herbs because they're so scared of the herbs. So that's the
Mm.
challenge for me. Like, mhm, getting people to believe in the herbs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I could definitely
That's
see
number
that.
one challenge.
There's so many things I think that
Mm-hmm.
come into play with people developing a discipline and a consistency, you know. Sometimes people have like their own mental things and traumas, and it's healing is a I look at it as a continuous process. It's something that you got to keep working at,
It is
you
a
know.
continuous process. Yeah.
Yeah, but when if they take it
Yeah.
consistently, people got to realize you take it. I've seen people who've taken stuff consistently, or who've taken herbs consistently, and then they drop off. And when they do that, they're
Oh
like, "Oh,
yeah.
it was working when I was using it." But then it's like, from an herbal standpoint, it's like, well, go back to using it because that's what worked. But
To what you use
people
it.
gotta
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
gotta
And,
be
and
their
and then
own.
I've had people.
Oh, go ahead, sis. Go ahead.
No, you have had people who say yes, they're ready to heal, and buy, spend like even thousands of dollars on the herbs, and then when the herbs get to them, they're just looking at the herbs. Oh, I think it might be too strong. I don't know if it might work. I don't know if it might kill me. Those kind of doubts.
But
Yeah, those
everything
kind
else
of
is
doubts
killing
is,
them.
is
Everything else is killing them. Why
yep.
not?
But the herb, yeah.
Right. You know what catches me when
Mhm.
people go when they say, "Oh, well, like I have family. I ain't gonna say no names. But family could be a little challenging sometimes. I've
Oh
had
yeah.
family who have told me, "Oh, I don't eat vegan food, or I don't eat herbs, or I don't eat," and I'm like, "Well, that's what seasoning is. They're herbs. Just it's just a
Yeah,
not a
yeah.
you know what I mean? Well, I don't eat, I'm like,
Hmm.
you don't eat fruits or vegetables? Don't you eat fruits? And I've met people who don't eat vegetables, who refuse to eat
Yes.
vegetables, who refuse, and it's like,
Hmm.
but then you're not moving your bowels for days. You're not, you're having all these other things going on. Try
Yes.
Mother Nature. And what kills me is the people who, and this is my own personal opinion, the
Yeah.
people who swear to be God fearing, but will not
Hmm.
try God's medicine.
Yes.
They're, oh God this, God that. They're into the religious, which I don't knock. I'm not a religious person, but I don't knock anybody that's religious. To each his own. Everybody's on their own journey.
Definitely. Hmm.
But they won't try the medicine that was created from the God that they believe in, the medicine that's
That they
been
believe
here.
in. Yeah.
So
Hmm.
it's like, at least try it. At least
At
try it
least,
and
yeah.
see the healing factors. Or they think it's going to heal them overnight.
Oh, even that too. Yeah. Yeah. One
Oh,
go
it
and
didn't
they
work
should be
yet.
okay.
You're like, well, how
Hmm.
many days you took it? 2. You're like, well,
Yeah. So you see why that can be a challenge. That's my challenge. That's, yeah.
yes, yes. I
And
could
then
understand.
in this field, you're going to be compassionate,
Hmm,
So, so,
hmm.
so, so having a client, you automatically, you want this person to heal, and then
Right.
not seeing them not taking it, seeing them being scared, they're like, oh,
Mm,
that can be a bit challenging.
I could imagine.
Yeah.
Let me see. So, if you could name maybe top 5 herbs for everyone to have in their home, at least 5, which ones would you tell everyone to have from your standpoint, from your perspective of your work?
Top five herbs. The first one will be sea moss,
Hmm.
and why? Because sea moss, I am yet to see an ailment that sea moss won't help to correct.
Mm.
Yeah. So sea moss.
Hmm.
Uh, cayenne, cayenne pepper. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think like in the case of an emergency, everybody should have that in the home. Because in the case of like strokes or any like heart conditions, cayenne pepper should be always be in the cabinet.
Mm,
Um, Iron herbs, I think like nettles. We should
that's
have
a good one.
nettles, sarsaparilla, all of the iron herbs. Yes, you can't go wrong with having like nettles there because it's safe. Like you're dealing with a pregnant lady, you don't have to worry about cleansing her too much. It's gonna supply iron. And in
Mm,
from my point of view, I think most illnesses come from you always have like it always have like anemia attached to it. You always have that
mm,
person being low in iron. Yes.
mm-hmm.
So having nettles, stinging nettles is one of the herbs I would definitely tell people to have in their home. So that's three, right?
You said
um,
stinging nettle, sea moss. You said cayenne. Yep, that's
and
three.
cayenne pepper. Yeah. Ginger.
Ah, and ginger you can get
Ginger,
everywhere.
ginger is one of the herbs, and ginger you can get anywhere. And then,
Uh-huh.
I mean, cayenne can cause if there are certain say there are certain situations you're not supposed to administer cayenne pepper. Ginger can take the place. Ginger
Mm,
is very good. Yeah, ginger is a very it is mild, but at the same time, it has a potency that I think everybody should always have in their home too.
mm.
So that's four.
That's all right. We get you giving good information to the people. So, yes.
Nopals.
I love nopal.
Most illnesses we have inflammation that comes with it.
Hmm.
Nopal, a simple nopal, having a simple nopal can really relieve like a stomach ulcer.
Hmm.
Anywhere inflammation is in the body. Yeah.
Thank
Yeah,
you
so
for
that's
that.
five.
Every herbalist I ask give a
You're
different
welcome.
five. So I like that question because every herbalist I ask gives a different five. So some people are like, I think this one.
It's a
So I
different
love it because
okay.
it's giving people information and stuff to look up because now they can look up the healing properties of nopal if they've never heard of it. They can look up the healing properties of the ginger and the cayenne. So thank you
Mhm.
for that.
Yeah.
Let me
Not
see.
a problem.
So, what advice would you give to someone who is interested in transitioning to a more alkaline lifestyle?
What advice? What
Yeah, would you
advice I
give?
would give to them?
Yeah.
All right, for one, it is you are going to be healthier. There's no question about that. Also, so what kind of advice I would give them how to do it, on how to
Yeah.
transition?
On how to transition.
I mean, start by getting familiar with the foods because the term alkaline is not a lot of people are familiar with it. So start by getting familiar with the foods. Start
Hmm.
by preparing the foods. What would the acidic foods that you would normally prepare? Start by preparing the alkaline foods. See how well it works with the body. For me, once I introduce alkaline foods to people and they go ahead and they prepare it, I see where it's not like it takes more convincing. They say, oh yeah, you like ladies who said my skin get clearer, I lose the weight. Guys will tell you that they feel stronger. So I mean, once you have them prepare that food, getting familiar with the foods, the results will be convincing enough for them to,
Hmm.
so wanting to transition and stay there.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yes.
And I have another question. What advice would you give to? Because the thing is, say for example, people are some people because everyone's from different places with different resources and things around them. So, what advice would you give from an herbal standpoint on someone who may be trying to get healthier, who lives in a place like the United States, where it's a big city, they're not really around like a lot of fresh vegetation, they're not really around fresh fruits, fresh water, fresh air. What advice would you give to them to get healthier?
So they are not there. They can't get. I mean, there's always access to water.
Hmm.
It doesn't matter. They can find the water. So don't find no excuse. You're living in, like, say, New York, and then trying to find a good quality spring. You can do it. For me, anything you set out to do, the universe will create a way.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, that is what I think. It doesn't matter where you are. From you say, all right, I need good water because I need to do this. A way will come as long as you don't block that with your mind by saying like, oh, how can I find it? I'm living in the city. Da da da. No, a way will create.
Well, that's manifestation right there.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. You
Yes.
manifest what you need.
Hmm.
So, for
Yeah.
anyone who is
Hmm.
interested in your wealth of knowledge, do you offer any courses? Do you do any retreats or things like that?
I'm currently doing courses. I do level 1, level 2, holistic healing. Actually,
Mm,
no, I'm at a point where I'm stepping away from the online training.
okay.
So it will be only be done in person, yeah. So
Mm,
if anybody wants training, they have to come to Jamaica. They have to come to where I'm going to be doing it. Not I'm
mhm.
stepping off online. Hmm. And I do offer
Okay.
retreats. I offer
Mhm.
monthly retreats, like I do like a full moon retreat. So for 7 days,
Ooh.
yeah, for 7 days I have you at the thermal water. I have you taking the duck flower.
Ah,
I do a drum session too. Yeah,
yes.
the duck, the famous duck. Yes,
That duck
and
flower ain't no
yeah,
joke. I'm sorry to interrupt. I just said that
it's
duck
no
flower is
joke.
no joke. No, I took that and I was like, what?
You took it in Honduras,
Yes. And I love the duck
and
flower.
how was
It
so you
hits.
had it fresh, right?
I had it fresh. I don't like it dry, but I had it fresh. Hours of purging,
Mm-hmm.
hours. But it was beautiful because when I finished, I
Mm-hmm.
felt so proud and I kept thanking my ancestors. I was like, thank you for clearing this out. And they kept knocking on the door asking me,
There
they
you
was like,
go.
"Quiere coco? You want coconut water?" I didn't even like coconut water until Honduras. When I got a fresh, real one,
Good.
that's to
Mm-hmm.
me, I call that nature's Gatorade because the electrolytes, the way it energized me, I was just like, and I was
Yes.
water fasting,
Mm-hmm.
maybe
Instantly.
yeah, I was doing water and sea moss fast maybe like the week before when I was there. Because whatever reason I was spiritually guided to us to
Okay.
cleanse with water and sea moss. So I was like doing 7 days water, sea moss, still going in the saunas and
Mm-hmm.
different things, still going in the thermal pools. And then I ate a little bit
Mm-hmm.
like maybe the day or 2 days before I did the duck flower. And when I did it,
Yes.
purging for hours, a lot of toxins, everything. I was so like, yes, clear this
Mm-hmm.
vessel, man. Years of it, years of this toxicity.
Yes.
Because, it is funny when I was in my mom's womb, I didn't let her eat meat. I didn't let my mama eat meat when she was pregnant
Good.
with me. Then I got
Good.
older and started
And
eating
it's
junk.
funny. I am like that. My mother my mother told me that like she has 4 kids, and out of the 4, she said I was the only one she could not stand the scent of meat.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
so she didn't
interesting.
eat it, and then yeah, she didn't eat it with me. She didn't eat meat with me, and then when I was born, now she got sick where she had to cut meat out of her diet.
Wow.
Yeah, so growing up with her, it was like the most she would do was seafood.
Yeah,
So
that's the
when
only
I
thing I
was
could let
like
her have
14,
when she was pregnant with me. That's the only thing was
yeah,
I could have the seafood, but that was it. She could have the
that
seafood.
was it.
Yeah,
Nothing else. Yes.
and let me tell you
So I
something
guess
personal,
that
sis.
have had hard.
Sorry,
Hmm?
go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, no, no. I was cutting you too. I was
No,
cutting
it's
you.
we're flowing. That's why we flowing.
No, yeah, I was saying that like so when at 14 or
Mhm,
15 it was easy for me to like cold turkey. I cut everything out.
mhm, mhm.
I cut everything out, seafood, everything out of the diet. It was
Yeah.
like when I got pregnant now at like 32 with my son, I started to crave cheese.
Uh-huh. Huh.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
had it. And then when I had him now, I was like, this is not. I can't do
Yeah.
dairy.
It
Mm-hmm.
happens. This body's so amazing and interesting. And I think sometimes when we have those
Yeah.
cravings, those are like some type of something that it's a deficiency that something's craving. Like I have my youngest
Some
nephew.
nutrients,
Yes,
definitely.
some
Some nutrients.
nutrients.
Mm-hmm.
My youngest nephew used to take cars, right? And he would swipe the dirtiest car with his hands as a baby and put his hand in his mouth. And we'd be like, no. And then one day I looked
Yes.
at him and I said, he has an iron deficiency. It dawned on me. I'm like, he needs
Mm-hmm.
iron. And then
Yes.
when my sister tested his
Iron.
iron
Mm-hmm.
levels were low. And he was, the children, they eat the
Low.
dirt
Mm-hmm.
and different things because their body wants the iron and it's trying to get that. So
Yes.
it's so funny how the cravings
Mm-hmm.
work. Sometimes you'll crave the cheese or you'll crave things, but that's not really what your body's telling you it wants. It wants
No.
something else.
Mm-mm. Want something else, definitely. Yeah. Oh, body's so intelligent.
Yes. Yes. I know Dr.
Mm-hmm.
Africa used to say, in one of his lectures, he would talk about, because I got to meet Dr. Africa a few times, and he would say
Good.
how the sugar, the sweet cravings, is associated with
Mm-hmm.
wanting love and affection, or wanting to give love or affection. And I was like,
Oh,
I'm interested, you
no,
know?
you are touching on this is my part. Like, I'm a big believer in the diet, but when it
Ah,
comes to I like, I love to study the brain, like the mind.
yes.
Yeah, I like to, so this is my thing. I mean, Louise Hay. Are you
Uh-huh.
familiar with Louise Hay?
No, I don't. That's Louis Hayes, you said?
Louise Hay, yeah. So
I
she's a
don't think so.
metaphysical teacher too, but she shows the mind connection with with every illness.
Ah,
So
I
if
gotta
I'm
check her
like,
out.
and that's yeah, you gotta check her out. Yeah, definitely. Um,
Hmm.
so like with you mentioned the cravings, but like with even acne, what causes acne? What causes acne? What's the mental pattern for you to
Hmm.
develop acne? Yes, you eat bad, but you have to be thinking a certain way to give
Yes.
that permission to manifest. So yes,
That's
yeah.
one thing I like about your style, because I follow you also on Facebook, and I noticed that you don't just
Mm-hmm.
address the food, you address so many other things, because I
No.
feel like now that it's more popular, everyone's addressing food, food, food. But then I've met people who were
Mm-mm.
plant-based, who are alkaline, who I was like, your mental is off. you know, or this, or there's some emotional healing that needs to be
Yeah.
done. And so what I find so beautiful is that
And
plants
and
have so
I've
many
met people
levels.
who eat meat.
Uh-huh.
I've met people who eat a lot of meat, and they're not sick. But when I look at the mental, I say,
Mm-hmm.
wow,
Yeah.
that's where it is, because they don't believe in the. I mean, the mindset is very positive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. So
Thinking
I
about,
like to.
oh, go ahead, sis.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
No, no. I was just saying. This is. I'm passionate about the mindset and the
Yeah.
manifestation of diseases. Yes.
It
I
makes me
think we
think. I
all
want
have to
to.
give it permission.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, the things overlap. Sometime when you're talking, I don't hear it, and sometimes when I'm talking, I don't think you hear it,
Mhm.
and then we hear it after. So I'm sorry
Yes.
about that. I don't mean to keep cutting off. But I wanted to ask, since
Not
you
a
mentioned
problem.
that, what's your thoughts on
Mhm.
psychedelic medicine, psychedelic herbs, like psychedelic mushrooms and things like that? Because I
Beautiful.
love those.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yes,
Beautiful. We need them. We need them. We need them. We need them. Yeah.
we do. We do. Because to me, those
Yes,
the
we need them.
herbs for the psychedelic medicine and the mushrooms, they heal on a
Hmm.
whole nother level. You know what I mean? Like that's the thing that's so beautiful about nature, is so many levels to the
Yes.
healing. So you got the herbs that heal the physical body and heal the mind to an extent. Then you
Hmm.
have the herbs that will take you on a spiritual journey, or
Yes.
like, oh, this
Yes.
friend I have, he used to go to Dr. Sebi for years. He's actually a little bit, quite a few years younger than me. But when I went to Usha, I met him in
Hmm.
Usha. And Dr. Sebi
Yes.
helped him heal his back pain. He was in his 20s at the time, and he had this
Hmm.
severe back issue. He done went to doctors all over the place. They done took out one of his teeth, all of these things to try to figure out what was wrong with his back. And none of it helped. He was getting worse over time. So then he eventually came to Dr.
Woo.
Sebi, to Usha, and Dr. Sebi let him know that his issue was an emotional issue in his mind, the physical ailment.
Mm-hmm.
And Dr. Sebi gave him psychedelic mushrooms. And he said after that, he
Yes.
didn't have the back pain for over a year. And so he
True.
started researching on his own how the mind can affect the physical body. You know what I mean? So, but
Yes.
it was
Mm-hmm.
powerful. Now, my first degree is in psychology, but back then I wasn't into the natural medicines like that at the time. But I remember
Yeah.
learning how you have people who study the psychology of people
Mm-hmm.
to get people to buy things with the color
Of
psychology,
course.
with the all kind of
Yes.
tactics. So you'll see McDonald's, you'll see Burger King in
Sound.
the same colors. Yeah, because it stimulates hunger. So it's
Mm-hmm.
so beautiful that you're speaking on that
Yeah.
aspect. People don't talk about that aspect enough.
Mm-hmm.
Like healing is such a, it's so many levels to it, man. It's so many levels. So I
Yes.
love that you're speaking
Yes.
on this. How how can anybody contact you if they
Yeah.
want to do a class with you? Do they email you or how do they contact you?
Yeah, they can email. So the email is web Keneisha. So that is
Uh-huh.
WEBBKENEISHA at
Uh-huh.
yahoo.com.
I'm
Yes.
going to type that in and I'm also going to put that on a banner so people can watch. If they watch after, they can also email you
Email. Yes,
for
thanks.
consultation. And what are some of the courses that you offer? I know you mentioned level 1 and level 2 of holistic healing. Do
Hmm.
you offer any
So level
any
one is
go ahead, sis.
basically level one is basically getting familiar with the herbs. What is a herb? What is the action of a herb? Um, getting introduced to like basic anatomy, basic numerology, and all of that. Level two, we go deeper. Like I go into like herbal magic. I show you how to use herbs
Hmm.
for manifestation. I show you how to do different
Yes.
protocols. Yeah, like the cancer protocols. The sexually transmitted diseases. You know,
Shoot,
that
I
is
might
what
take one of your
I
courses
I
for
am
support,
very
sis.
passionate about.
Sorry, I said I
Yes,
might
I
take
love.
one of your courses for support.
I
Go
didn't
ahead.
hear
I'm
that.
sorry.
No, oh, okay. So I was saying that, yeah. So with level two, it's more of like case studies, getting
Mm.
I show you how to basically cleanse the sexually transmitted diseases.
Mhm.
Yeah. Mhm.
That's beautiful. And it's so needed. It's
It is.
so needed.
It is.
Thank you.
It is.
We need you,
Especially, I
sis.
mean, women. We have women suffering from recurrent vaginal infections. We
Yes.
have the herpes. Yeah, we have
Hmm.
all of that. So I mean, for me to offer this course, it's also so rewarding for me because I would want females to know that, listen, man, cut dairy out of the diet. Change the
Hmm.
mindset. Put this in the diet. It is that simple. Do this. Be consistent like that. And you will free of those things.
What is your perspective on like immunizations and some of the things that people are getting in their arm from an herbal perspective?
Mm-mm, it's not needed. I think it's impure us. I think like even the immunization. My son, he's 5 and he has never gotten any of those, and he's doing well physically, spiritually. My son is very advanced, so I would not encourage people to do that. We don't need it. We don't need it.
Thank you. Thank you. And let me
We
see.
don't need it.
Do you believe any diseases or ailments are incurable? And if so, or if not, why?
Everything can be cured. Everything can be cleansed. Everything. Everything.
I love it. I love it.
Everything. It doesn't matter. Yeah, everything.
Well, is there any final things that you would like to share with the people? Any final words of advice, encouragement, anything you would like to share?
Life is beautiful. I love this thing called life. I like this. I like living. Why? Because I have seen where herbs, we don't have to be sick. We don't have to be uncomfortable. We don't have to lack nothing. Everything that we need, we can be so happy with food and with a change in mindset and herbs. Life can be so prosperous. Life can be so very rewarding just
Hmm.
by what you eat, what you think, and having your herbs.
Yes. Thank you so much, you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching. And thank you, Keneisha, for your wisdom. Thank you for sharing what you have to offer to the world, because this is a time, I believe, spiritually, where things are shifting in such a way where the healers are needed. That's why it's becoming popular now more. But a lot of people just kind of need
Yeah.
guidance on what's going on, because you have a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
like who jump on the alkalinity train as, because it's a fad. And it's good that people are looking more into nature, but you have people who are not doing too much of the studying and just kind of repeating rhetoric that they hear, rather than actually looking into the healing aspects and so many other aspects of it all. Like, you can't put every herb together. Every herb doesn't go together. And then, like
Mm-mm.
you said, but I've seen,
No.
believe it or not, sis, I've
Mm-mm.
seen people just throw a whole bunch of herbs in one thing. And I'm just like, this herb don't work well with this herb. So you can't put that. And then some herbs, you want to put a lighter amount. It's a whole lot to it. Some herbs you don't want to take every day. You got to really study the plants. You know what I mean? I'm still studying plants. I'm
No.
still learning, but you'll see people do that, because
Listen,
it's like, oh, go ahead.
you can cause a lot. You can cause a lot of damage with the herbs. Are beautiful. Herbs are powerful. Herbs are good. But at the same time, if you do not know what you're doing, you can actually kill people or yourself.
Very true. That's an
Hmm.
important message, you guys.
Yeah.
I know some people
Yeah. You can.
personally,
You
and
can
I'm
really hurt yourself.
like,
Because guess what? I mean, for instance, even like kidney,
hmm,
addressing the kidneys, you have to, that person, I wouldn't say certified, you don't have to have a certified person, but that person have to have experience, especially in addressing the kidneys. They're not so simple as what people would say, like drink water or like take dandelion leaves and that's it. No. There are certain conditions within the kidney. If you do not know what you're doing, it definitely hurt the person
yeah,
or
yeah,
yourself. Yeah, so we have
hmm,
to, the information has to be out there. That is my, I like doing it, and I will forever try to, educate people, show people that listen, it's not just like googling some herbs, putting some herbs together, and then marketing that. No,
yes. Thank you. You want to go to someone who
Mhm.
is authentic in what they do, like Miss Keneisha right here, who's been studying for years. Okay, you want to go to people
Yes,
who've been studying for years. If they don't know it, go to
and I'm
someone else.
still
There's many
studying and
people.
I'm still learning. I'm
Yes,
still studying and I'm still learning.
well,
Yes,
Dr. Africa, before he passed, he was still studying and still learning, and he was in his 70s.
yes, I'm
He'd
still
been
learning.
studying herbs for so
Mm-hmm.
many years. He has years, decades of books that he's written. And people who I knew, who knew him
Yes,
personally, would say they would see him at home with his books, writing notes, studying. So I was just like,
of course.
that's beautiful. You know what I mean? And even Dr. Sebi was
Mm-hmm.
tweaking
Mm-hmm.
things, over time. Like,
Of
okay, and now
course.
I've learned this,
Over
so
time,
I'm
yes,
changing this. Yeah.
yes.
So it never ends. If you
Mm-hmm.
go to
Of
someone who
course.
is like, say they're a master at everything and they don't study no more, they lying or something's tricky.
Mm-mm. Yeah, something. Yeah, because I mean, it's basically an art. You could classify. Putting herbs together is basically an art for me. Yeah. So like I am always changing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always
Mm-hmm.
tweaking. Yeah, I'm always like, this one would go, but always studying. It's an ongoing learning process.
Yes. Thank you for
Yes.
sharing. You guys watching the video, don't forget to email Sis Keneisha, donate to her, to Zell, help the sister continue the work that she's been doing because we need her. We need many healers out here on so many different levels, especially with some of the things, even some of the predictions that I've had in some of my numerology videos, some of the things that are coming.
Mm-hmm.
We need to get things in alignment, and this is the time of the healer. This is, in my opinion, this is the time of the healers. We have to come together,
Of
support each
course.
other. Healers help other healers, you know what I mean? And we have to put this out there and shift
Mm-hmm.
what's going on
I
planet
like how
Earth.
you said that though.
Thank you. Thank you. You know, like I like to pair with other healers, whatever type of healing work they do, because it's all important and it's all needed. You know what I mean? And we have to help one
Oh,
another
yes.
because it's not easy being the healer. You know what I mean? Or being the, what people will call the healer.
Mm.
It's not
We need
easy.
this. We need the support. We
Yes.
need each other. We need each other,
We
especially as
do.
females. We genuinely need each other. Yes.
Yes.
And
Yes.
you touched on something. You said now is the time of the healer. Why?
So I believe now is the time of the healer because of certain things happening. I'm not an astrologer, but I've been studying astrology and numerology since 15 on my own, right? And then I had like a couple of teachers,
Good.
but it wasn't very long. And then life just led me to all this other stuff. But with some things
Okay.
happening with the planetary shifts, some things happening
Yes.
with the number, the numerical year that we're in, and the next couple of years, and with what's happening in the government
Mm-hmm.
around the world, there's going to be so
Yes.
many shifts. And like people talk about the new world order, that's been in effect and it's
Mm-hmm.
coming more and more in effect. And so there's going to be a lot of trying to control the masses down to not just the food, down to the mind, down to so many things. It's already started, you know. And so
Yeah,
the
ready.
healers
Yes.
are people who got into this work because of their own journey. This the healing work, you could have been doing this in your past life and came back at this time to help with what's
Mm-hmm.
coming up.
To
You know what I
help. Yes.
mean? I know that in
With
my
what? Yes.
last life, I
Yes.
was doing healing work as well. So it's very interesting because we chose
Okay.
to come back at this time because the people need
To
our
this
help. And
time.
the healers have always, the herbalists, the quote unquote witches, they've always helped the community,
Yes.
always help the
Mm-hmm.
communities heal
True.
in all different types of cultures, whether you go to European culture, whether you go to Asian culture, African culture, indigenous American culture, all of that. You've always had those
Mm-hmm.
people that help guide the people into healing and shifting and fighting against the quote unquote powers that be that are trying to implement stuff that is not for us. That's so they can have control. I'm trying to be choosy with my words
Mm-hmm.
for you two so I don't get
Yeah,
flack.
yeah, yeah. I realize.
But you get what I mean, sis. You get
I
what I mean.
realize. Yes.
The stuff that they're doing,
Mm-hmm.
even stuff like Bill Gates buying
Yes.
all of the seed banks and forcing people in different
Mm-hmm.
countries to plant genetically modified seeds. But if you notice, there
Mm-hmm.
was a Caucasian woman who I know who told me this one time when I was in a plant medicine ceremony. She said, when one thing goes out of alignment, other things come to save it, and the plants are coming to save us at this time. And I said, that's beautiful
Of course.
because this is the time that people are
Mm-hmm.
getting into plant based eating. They're getting back into psychedelic medicine. They're getting into these things
Yes.
from the plants because the plants are here to help bring that
Mm-hmm.
revolution. Just like in the Bible, in Revelations, it says the nation shall be healed by the leaves, the herbs.
But of course, the herbs. Yes.
And so these things
Yes.
are part of the revolution and part of the change. And that's why people like, unfortunately, Dr. Sebi got attacked. That's why certain people get attacked because they don't want this movement. It goes against with the way that they want to
No.
control the people. Yeah, they don't want this kind of movement. So we as a community
Mm-hmm.
need to help and
No,
support
they don't want
the
it. No.
healers. Yeah. They don't want that
Yes.
kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want that kind of stuff.
Mm-mm.
I know, I hope I don't get flagged for this, but I do not believe for 1 second that Dr. Sebi had pneumonia. I just leave it
You
at that.
don't?
No,
You
no.
don't?
But I got I got my own inside information, but I don't believe that's in my heart and soul. And if he did, something had to be given to him. I don't believe it went down the way that they kind of painted it, but that's just my own personal belief. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's your own.
It's also to stop
I
this
would I would
movement.
talk to you another time about that. We'll
Okay.
talk another time about that. Yeah. We'll definitely
Absolutely,
talk another
absolutely.
time about it. Yes.
But
Hmm.
it's interesting, like just real quickly, I told you about her in my mom's belly. I didn't allow her to eat meat. The only meat she was able to eat was fish. So then I grew up eating meat,
Yes.
eating the processed things. I always had skin issues,
Hmm.
different things going on with my
Oh,
body, right?
okay.
But I never had an actual ailment until I was 22. 22, I got diagnosed with
Hmm.
a diabetes, with a thyroid condition, some other stuff. I wasn't into the natural
Oh,
medicine,
okay.
but when I was 16, I decided to just go cold turkey pescatarian. So I went pescatarian for
Hmm.
a year and a half, and I saw the difference. Even my period flow, which used to be very long, was much
Was
shorter. It
different.
was 3 days.
Hmm.
Then I went to college and I got back on the meat because I was like, oh, you're probably not going to have the organic stuff that I'm used to. Started eating that
Yes.
junk. Got in a toxic
And you pay the
relationship,
price.
paying the price. Got in a toxic
Yeah.
relationship with a man who ate everything, and I ate everything with him. We was eating pork. I was never raised on pork. We was eating pork. We was eating chicken. We was eating beef. All kind of unhealthy lifestyle. Got sick again.
Yeah.
Lost my hearing in one of
Hmm.
my ears from dairy. I've always been highly allergic to dairy. As a child, it would make me
I think
spit blood.
every woman. I mean, dairy doesn't belong in both man or female. But I
Yeah,
think us female, I think it is so hard on us more.
I think that part of why you see so many
I
sisters
think the
with the
dairy. I think
fibroid.
us bodies can't handle the dairy. You know, when the
Mhm.
man can get away with certain things, I think us female we definitely can't handle it. No, our bodies, no, we're not made to handle the dairy.
Yeah, that makes sense though, because when you think of how the woman's anatomy is and how everything for us is internal, you know what I
Yes.
mean? So yeah, that makes, I like what you said. Because
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, that's a good point. But
Hmm.
I went to a Queen Afua event in 2012. And I went there on my own, and
Hmm.
all these sisters were raw vegan. They had gorgeous skin. They were beautiful. They was in shape. Their waist was snatched. I was looking like, wow, I
Yes.
want to be like them, right? So I said, I'm gonna go cold turkey. I'm gonna
Hmm.
become a vegan. I didn't research food, but I went vegan and I
Oh,
did
okay.
it for 6 months cold turkey. The first 2 weeks of doing it, the doctor said to me, we don't know what you're doing, but all your levels went back to normal. The first 2 weeks.
Good.
And then, but
First
I
two
didn't research
weeks.
food. So all I was eating was tofu and stuff. I didn't know no better. So I got tired of eating that, ended up
Yeah.
falling off eating fried chicken wings because I was living in the hood. I was living in the projects at the time. Ate fried chicken wings and started getting depressed, like, oh. But then on
Pay the
2016,
price again.
paying the price, but being hard headed, paying the
Hmm.
price, right? Sometimes,
Yes.
as people, be hard headed, but I think that's part of the journey. As long as you get back on it, you keep working at it until you get that consistency, you keep working at it. You know what I mean? And then you're like, okay, I learned something from this. So now next time I'm not going to do this. 2016, that's when I
Mm-mm.
got on it. And I've been on it ever
Mhm.
since. But I researched food more.
And
So
you
I
know,
was like,
yes,
I gotta figure out
good.
what I could eat. Because I like food. That never
Hmm.
changes.
Yes,
So I mixed
never.
up it.
No, don't go back.
It's been a hard journey, but it's been a beautiful one. And I've seen the changes in just doing that. And when you
Yes,
combine the food changes with the herbs, oh my gosh, the best results.
beautiful.
The
It's
best results.
beautiful.
Because the
Yes,
herbs will
yes.
cleanse you and the food
Hmm.
helps to sustain you. You know what I mean? It's interesting how
Definitely.
it works,
Hmm.
sis. But
I
yeah.
know, I know. Yes.
A crazy, crazy journey, but it's a beautiful journey and it's going to get more beautiful.
Yeah, it is. Hmm.
Yes.
Because we're
But
gonna do this together, right? We're not gonna
that's
stop.
right. That's right.
Not gonna
That's
stop.
right. Well,
Mhm.
thank you so much. Thank you,
Yes.
everyone who tuned in. Thank you, everyone who is going to tune in. Make sure you guys email if you need any health or healing consultations. If you have any questions, you want to study the herbs and study herbal magic and iridology and herbology, contact Keneisha through
Mm-hmm.
email. Let her know what you need, and she'll take it from there. Make sure you support the healers. We need the
Yes.
help and the support to keep the journey going and keep it
Yes.
strong, you know? Thank
Thank you.
you. All right. You
Thank
guys
you
have a
so much.
wonderful
Yes.
night. Yes. All the way from Jamaica. That's
Okay.
right.
Thank you.
No problem. No problem.
Yes.
See you
And we
guys.
will talk. We will talk another time. Definitely keep in touch.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And
Yes.
everyone, you guys have a wonderful night. Tune in next time we have another show, or anytime I do any lives. Don't forget to like this channel, to like it, subscribe, it, share the information, support the best way you can. Drink water, as Sister Keneisha's doing right now.
Oh, I'm
I got
hot.
some
It's
water right
hot.
here.
It's hot. It's
Yes,
summer here. Yeah, we're hot in Jamaica. Yeah.
I love it. I love those hot climates. We need
Hmm.
it. I didn't even realize how
Yes.
much we needed it till I was in Honduras. Then I was like, oh, I didn't realize
Of
all my
course.
senses heightened. It was amazing. I was like, my senses heightened. I was like
Yeah,
psychic
we do
hallucination.
better in the heat, right?
Yeah, we do. We do.
Mm-hmm.
With the heat and
Yeah,
when
we
around
do
the
much better
plants.
in the heat.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Are
So I'm
you
looking
guys?
forward to see you here though.
Oh, yes. To see me?
Yeah.
I'm
To come
down.
here to Jamaica.
Come on,
Oh,
come to
yes.
Jamaica and feel all right.
Yes. Yeah, of course. I
You're
wanted to
gonna
come to
feel
one of
the
the
retreat.
retreats, of course. So we
I would
definitely
love
gonna
to.
talk.
Yes, yes. I
Yeah.
got some changes going on right now because I'm in the process of moving. I'm moving to a place with a hotter climate. And I haven't told everyone yet. I'm telling everybody now, apparently. But
Yeah.
but I'm making some changes and everything so I can organize
Yes.
things in my life and get my money up the way I want to. And I'm down
Want
for
to, yeah.
Jamaica. So I'm all
Of
for it.
course.
Thank you
I'll
for
let you
inviting me.
know. I will let you know. Yes.
Yes. Well, you guys have a
Okay.
wonderful evening. Thank you, Sis Keneisha. I'm going
Mhm.
to end the live. If you want to stay on, you can.
Yes.
All right. Have a
Okay.
great night,
Thank
everyone.
you.
No problem.